I'm Dr. James Markham, host of the television program Heart of Health, seen right here on WTNB television, Thursday at 7 o'clock, Friday at 8 a.m., or Sunday at 3:30 p.m.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
How would you like to look and feel better? If so, then visit the Ford Center for Anti-Aging, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest. Dr. Ford has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding area since 1984. He is a licensed physician with the Board of Anti-Aging Medicine, offering affordable Botox injections. Botox is a medication that is used to treat dynamic wrinkles such as crow's feet, forehead lines, and frown lines. In addition to Botox therapy, rejuvenate and smooth wrinkled skin. The micro laser peel treats skin conditions associated with aging and active lifestyles. If you're looking for safe and affordable anti-aging treatment, call the Ford Center for Anti-Aging at 423-614-0535, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest.
Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland, is your #1 Dodge Chrysler and Jeep dealer in this area. Stop by and see the brand.
Welcome back to the Tennessee Valley this morning, 6:51 your time, and as promised, we have some very special guests today. We're going to talk about a boot camp. I know you've got all kinds of ideas in your head about what boot camp is. This is a very special boot camp. With me is Amber Caldwell to my left. She is the chair of the math department.
That's correct.
Walker Valley High School. And then, of course, you recognize Cheryl Janzen. She's been here a couple of times before. Counselor, a college and career counselor, Cheryl.
That's correct.
Right?
That's
at
correct.
Walker Valley High School. They're here to talk about an ACT boot camp. Is this something that we normally hear of, or is this something new, another brainchild of you ladies?
Yeah, that's about the size of it. It is a brand new event that we have been, first time for us, and we are going to open it up to all 3 high schools, and so any student in the area that would like to work on their ACT skills coming in, especially before that test, on December 10th, which is our next ACT test date. They can come on the 3rd from 9 to 12, and we're going to run them through all kinds of strategies and test-taking tips and all kinds of really great stuff for the ACT. Yes.
That's interesting. I have a granddaughter, Abby. We were chatting about that before during the break, but we had dinner one day last week, and she just mentioned, well, I guess it's time for me to start thinking about the ACT test. And I said, well, you're gonna study? And she said, well, I've heard that you can't study for it. And I said, oh, really? Well, so I hope she does well, but you'll be getting the word out. I said that to ask her. You'll be getting the word out to all the students and helping them learn how to study for the ACT test.
Yes, and actually one of the best things that students can do, especially students looking to take the test in actually March, which is when most of our juniors will take it. One of the best things that they can do is start doing practice tests. 20, 30 minutes, 3 or 4 times a week. That will really help them. One of the things that we know about the ACT is it's a test of familiarity. The more they see it, the better they will tend to do on it. And one of the reasons we started looking at some data is the current junior class, they have some real important benchmarks that they have to meet, and I'll let Ms. Caldwell address some of those things and for that.
There are 4 benchmarks that the state of Tennessee has set for this junior class and everyone underneath them. And in order to earn an honors diploma, you have to meet all 4 benchmarks of the ACT. So rules have changed. So it's a very important test for this group of students. And data shows that nationwide students that meet all 4 benchmarks have a 50% or greater chance of earning B's in college coursework. So it's a great predictor of success.
Well, now what are the possibilities of earning a scholarship if they meet these benchmarks as well?
A lot of colleges and universities offer scholarships. Some of our local universities and college offer fantastic scholarships for meeting the benchmarks.
That is incredible. One of the things you mentioned, the other high schools, one of the things, and you've been on it several times, Cheryl, but each time you come on, you mention the other schools and that they're involved. I'm impressed impressed with the fact that all the schools seem to work together. Whenever there's one program at one school, everyone's included. Right. And seems to be a good relationship between the city and the county
Yeah, we're
systems.
definitely building that relationship. You know, we just had that really big college fair in the fall. We've got a really cool event, it's on the down low, coming up for the juniors in the spring. Real excited for that. One of the things that we're really trying to push is that, you know, you can be as competitive as you want on the courts and on the field, but when it comes to academics and doing what's best for our kids, we really want a united front. And so that's been really great. We have a good relationship with all 3 high schools, so we wanted to make sure that Cleveland and Bradley, and as well as our kids from Walker Valley, knew that they can come up for this ACT boot camp and you know, get some really great strategies. Miss Caldwell here is amazing. I learned so much about math in the first 30 seconds being in our room, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. So we actually do a tutoring class that's before school and after school as well at Walker Valley, but this is an intensive thing on December 3rd from 9 to 12.
December 3rd, okay, 9 to 12 at Walker Valley?
At Walker Valley. We're going to be up in the media center, of course, unless we have such a great turnout that we need to branch out, and we'll make that decision come as we go. But they can contact me at school at Janzen at bradleyschools.org, or call Walker Valley, and they will get them to me if they have questions. So.
Okay. Well, you mentioned math. Have a friend who's a teacher, a math teacher at Lee University, Dr. Jerry. Well, I just drew a blank. Dr. Jerry, that's his name. Okay. But he has in the past tutored some of my grandchildren and helped them, and when my kids were small, he'd help them get through the problems. Is math one of the areas that the kids find difficult about the ACT?
I think math tends to be one of the areas of deficiency, and when we've experienced when we have opened this up for our before and after school tutoring, and we allow the kids a choice of topics to study when they come in the room, the vast majority of them are asking for help in math. They just feel very, they don't feel confident with it. And part of the boot camp, I think, is just to give them some confidence in math.
I see. And one of the little blurbs that I picked up on the stuff that the producer sent over was that every problem on the math section can be solved in less than 60 seconds?
Yes, you have 60 questions in 60 minutes, and ACT builds that test so every math question can be solved in less than a minute and without a calculator.
Really? Mm-hmm. Now, are most students today accustomed to having a calculator in class?
They do. I think everybody.
Get dependent on that?
They get dependent, and they use it as a crutch, and it actually slows them down. So one of the things we try to work on is building their confidence back up without a calculator.
Yeah.
So that they, it's a speed test. It's about learning how to manage your time.
And what about, there's something on there about eliminating answer choices in the reading section.
The ACT it purposely will put what we call calculation errors on the test, not just in the math section, but also in the reading, English, and science. And so if you are skimming through quickly, you might go, oh yeah, that's the answer. And if it's in the answer choice, it's because they've hired people like Miss Caldwell to go, oh, if I added instead of subtracted, this would be the answer. They do the same thing in the other sections. Really? And so we teach students to eliminate those obvious choices right off the bat that are clearly out of there, and then if they still have no clue, we tell them to, you know, really take their best guess between two, and they really do raise their chances of being much more successful on that test. So.
And then in the science, of course, it's math, reading, science, and what else is on there?
English.
English. So the four sections. What about the science section? Is there any little tricks that they could find?
The science section, you have 40 questions, and you need to complete those in 35 minutes. And it's all divided into 3 sections. You have charts and graphs, experiments, and tables.
Passages.
And so all of the answers for the science test are contained on the test. It's about science reasoning, less about science knowledge.
I see.
And so it's all about going back, reading those passages, reading those charts and graphs, or calculating those experiments and making sure that you can find the data. And that's where they really get sneaky on some of those answer choices. So
it is possible then for students who go to the boot camp to potentially raise their ACT scores.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Wow.
We won't have solid data on that. Ms. Caldwell here is the data queen. She's amazing at what she can do with numbers. Until obviously after we take the test in December, we have several students who are coming right now to our strategies before and after school. They're going to take the December test, and I'm sure that as soon as those scores are in, she will be doing some comparative analysis on those, just to make sure and to see what we can then use as our next promo, I guess.
Okay. So if the student takes the test on whatever it is, March, I think you said, and let's say they don't do as well as they had hoped, what is that it?
No.
It's not?
Students have several opportunities, and I encourage my students to take the test early and often. Take it every time it's offered.
Early and often. Wow, that's amazing.
Starting in about 10th grade. They will do some that will test in 7th grade through a specialty program, but in about 10th grade you should have enough knowledge to really get a good feel for what you need to work on that test. Here in Tennessee, they've also put 2 other I guess practice tests in place. In 8th grade they take the Explorer, and in 10th grade they'll take the Plan. Both of those tests are practice ACT tests. And so they give us a prediction on how students will do on the ACT.
Oh, really?
And that's one of the pieces of data that she's been looking at. So,
what kind of response are you getting from the students about this boot camp?
They're excited. I think they're really excited. They're coming in droves. The tutoring we've been offering before and after school has been very successful, which is good to see. A lot of students are really concerned about their ACT score, and it's nice to see them taking ownership of it.
Oh, that's great. And it's coming up December 3rd, starting at 9 a.m. in the morning at Walker Valley High School in the Media Center.
In the Media Center,
and
that's right.
the best part is it's free.
It's free. It's free. Absolutely free. And we're hoping, we have one of our partners at school is working diligently on getting some donations, and so you know, he's working on getting donuts and bottled water and things like that. So if you have a business in the community and you'd like to help a great cause, contact me. We are definitely not too proud.
And I'm sure you ladies, having dealt with children, students, you're going to find ways to make this fun too.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
not going to be a
we've got some really great ideas, some awesome ideas. So
that's great. And it's open to all high school students?
All high school students.
In the whole county?
In the whole county.
Wow.
City and county alike, bring them on. We are trying to get an accurate count by November 30th simply because of the donations and food. We would like them to have something to eat, but worst case scenario, we'll take anybody that wants to come. So.
Now, do they have to pre-register?
It would be helpful just for a count. So, and they can do that again by emailing me, cjanzen at bradleyschools.org, or call Walker Valley, ask for Janzen or ask for the guidance office, and they can sign up and register that way.
Yeah, or the students at Walker Valley can just come to your office.
They can just come to our office or stop in and see Ms. Caldwell. And
Fantastic. Wow, there was nothing like this when I was a kid. Of course, that was back in the Stone Age. You know? That's fantastic, what you ladies are doing to help our kids. And I just think it's great, and I'm going to encourage my granddaughter, because it's obviously on her mind, and I think it's on a lot of students' minds, especially when they get to be juniors. And that they start getting concerned about this. And so I'm going to encourage her to check with you and see what she can do about getting involved in that. It's 7:02. We're running a little bit late. Talking to Amber Caldwell, Math Department Chair at Walker Valley High School, also Cheryl Janzen, College and Career Counselor at Walker Valley, and it's always a pleasure to see you ladies.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you coming by and sharing this information with us. And I'm going to promote that.
Great, thank you.
Thanks for coming by.
We'd appreciate it.
Got to take a break. 7:02, back in just a moment. We're going to learn about scoops and burgers.